So good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to the Virtual Heroes series. I am Natalie King, and I am the VA Confidence Coach. And today I am delighted to introduce you to Farley, who is an admin and bookkeeping VA, and she specializes in helping admin organization. And I think that's really great. Is as business owners, we need help to organize ourselves. She's based in Long Melford in Suffolk. It's a beautiful place. It's a really beautiful village in Suffolk. So welcome, Farley, to the Virtual Hero series, and come say hi. Say hello to everyone.
Thank you, Natalie, and hello to everybody. As you say, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, because you never know when everyone's going to be watching, do you? So
no. So one of the reasons why I have started doing this series is because I really want to showcase the how wonderful and the power that VAs have in helping small businesses, business owners, like coaches, copywriters, IT, people who have specialist skills, but admin or emailing is not something that they're good at.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to do. I really want to showcase how great the VA industry is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there has been a misconception about misconception about VAs and the industry itself. So what are some of the misconceptions that you've come across and as a VA?
I'd say that well, the first one is VA being virtual. So I would say I'm less virtual in terms of I do visit my clients. So a lot of my clients are the furthest one away from me is an hour away. But I think given those touch points have been able to, obviously excluding this last year where we've been all on our own, but dealing with people completely virtually, you still need to build up that trust. So I think you can do that quite easily, but a lot of the business owners, and I think because it's their own business and they're letting me have access to everything within the business. So to build up that trust, I have visited them and I will visit their office if they need me to. But I think that the misconception is that it's cheaper to employ someone. And I think that's a lot of what I get, is that it's quite expensive. They just assume how expensive it is to have a VA. But I think our value is undervalued as such. So I think it's the people just assume, yes, you can pay someone if you just look at it as an hourly rate from employing someone to taking someone on that's invoicing you whether it's per hour, per project. I do both. It actually does work out more value for money because you
don't pay pension, you don't have to pay annual leave, you don't have to pay sick leave or anything, and you only pay for the hours that they need you to work.
Exactly.
So they're not paying for you to stand around the cooler catching up with the local office gossip because you've done everything and you're waiting for the next bit of work.
Exactly. And I think it's valuing your own time as well to manage someone. When you've got someone who's a specialist in a certain area, they are. So so for one of my clients, I'm online by 8:30, 9 o'clock every morning, and we whiz straight through, sit down, whiz through all the emails. And I know the business as well as they know the business. So everything just gets actioned. And then, as you say, it's like on to the next thing and on to the next thing. But then it's not managing holiday, it's not managing the sick pay, it's those extra bits. And most recently, I had someone who wanted to take me on part-time. They wanted 20 hours a week, but they wanted to employ me. And as it happened, they didn't need me 20 hours a week. So when I went to visit them and went through the job spec and what they needed me to do, I said, you don't need me for 20 hours a week. I'm more than happy to work for you, but I probably won't invoice. And I ended up invoicing them 10 hours a week. And I said, and they wanted, it took them a while to get their head around it. But I was like, but why would you pay me 20 hours a week? I mean, I can do 20 hours a week, but I won't be working for 10 of them. So you don't. And I think they were quite shocked by the honest conversation. And I'm like, I'm not talking myself out of work, but to be valuable as I see my work, if I can do something in half the time, then that's better for your business. It's better for all of us. It's just I can't see any negatives in that. So
no, and and like you said, it's the misconception of maybe being more expensive, or in this case, is that a VA can do the job quicker than maybe if they just employed somebody who would be sitting there trying to fill up the space because there's not enough work.
Yeah. And one of my biggest clients they have me on email and bookkeeping. So I'm the accounts, orders, going through all of the admin, etc. on that side of things. And then they've got a marketing specialist. So we work together as a team as you would do normally, but at the same time, it's very, very clear of what I do and what they do and what your specialisms are, because I couldn't do what they do from a marketing point of view, and they just couldn't do it. And the business
and said you can work together.
Exactly that. And they've got their specialisms. I work for a lot of tradesmen, and they just don't want to touch paperwork. So no, I just
blame them. I don't blame them. I don't like paperwork either. I
just get this paperwork brought to me on a weekly, monthly, and depending what it is, annual basis. And they're just like, right, can you just make that happen and check I'm legal? Thanks.
That's wonderful. So what is one of the ways that we can help to combat this negative misperception of, I keep getting these words muddled up.
No, that is right. I think it's word of mouth. I think you're not going to get a better understanding, and you don't get better marketing than word of mouth. And I think it's almost trying someone. It's difficult at first. If someone has got that, if they're so far one way of just it's not going to work, and they've got the mindset that it's not going to work, it won't. Let's be honest, it won't work. You have to change that mindset. And it does take a while to understand someone's business as well. So if I've got a client in a completely different area or completely different market, that can take me longer than someone if I've got similar clients. And I think if you give them that, there's always going to be that back and forth. So if, say, for example, I came to work for yourself, I always say, look, we're going to have a month of 6 weeks where you're almost still going to feel that overwhelmed, because 9 times out of 10 you're taking on a VA because you're overwhelmed. You're doing too much. You don't know where to start. You almost write a to-do list with some stuff you've already done just to feel better to cross it off. It's always a good trick. But it will always be a month, 6 weeks of me to really getting to know your business, how you work. And I'm very adaptable I can adapt to what the client wants and your way of working. I'm not going to make you work how I work, because that's just not going to help.
No. People, but it's finding that connection, it's finding a way that you can work together. Exactly. And this is where it's so important to have the right VA, the right personality, and it's okay to talk to other VAs to get the right person on board, because essentially you will be working together.
100%.
Even if it's from 2 different areas.
Completely. And you have to have that trust in them. And I think once you've had that month of them getting to understand you, and you're a really good partnership, then all of a sudden you'll find you've got hours in the day, not minutes, hours, because you're able to just send that to a VA, to who you're using, and know you've got the confidence in them if they know how they're going to deal with it. So if I'm dealing with your customers, it's the tone of voice, and it's just having that confidence in someone. And I think you're right. You need to take the time to find the right VA. I'll be honest, and this goes very much against some of the VA community groups I've seen. I wouldn't get you to sign a contract with me from day one. I wouldn't. We'd have an agreement, but it would be, let's see if we work well together, because you don't want to trial or work together for a month and then find actually we don't work. Let's shake hands and say we don't work, and I probably know someone who would work better with.
And you also want to, you know, as a VA, you also want to have a good relationship with your clients. You also want to have a good, being able to say, okay, I'm not sure about this, how can we sort this out, and to have that open communication. So it goes both ways. It's not only as a taking on a VA that you need to get on with them, but I think the VA needs to get on with who they're working with as well.
100%. And I think people can fall into the trap of the worst thing you can do is just say, yeah, this isn't really working, but actually we're tied in a contract to continue, whether it's a block of hours or what it might be.
Yeah, no.
Because if you know in yourself, if you don't enjoy something, you procrastinate, you put it off. And I think the whole benefit of having a PA is that they're proactive, you're smashing through to-do lists together, and you're really being that motivation for each other to get stuff done. And I think if you haven't got that, then let's find someone better, let's find a better fit, because ultimately it's going to be better for everyone's business. So definitely. And lifestyle as well, you've got to enjoy. You spend too many hours at work to not enjoy what you do.
Definitely. So what got you started as a VA?
So I was a qualified buyer. I purchased, as I call it, bins and bog roll for a pub company. I was the glamour of the purchasing team, and I was made redundant. My daughter was a year old, and I was made redundant. And I'd been there so many years. I chose not to. It was a relocation, so I chose not to relocate and took the money, and thought, well, what can I do? And I'd just finished my maternity leave, and I decided I wanted a better lifestyle. So I'd done the whole corporate nights away, traveling, working till 7, 8 at night. So I thought, well, I want to choose my hours. So I thought, well, why not give it a go? Did a bit of research. Found I was really, really good in certain things like organising, helping businesses. I'd always done bookkeeping for some friends. Excuse me. So I'd always done bits and pieces. So I just went in that avenue of contacting them. Do you need anything else? What do you need doing? So I actually called myself a personal organiser at first. Never, and I still don't really call myself a VA because I'm a bit special in the way I work when I read what others are up to. So
it's finding your uniqueness, letting your uniqueness out. So what are some stumbling blocks that you've encountered while you've been building your business and growing your business?
I'd say lack of. I think it's just the learnings of as you grow your business. Of, like we've just said, not every client's the best fit for each other. It's understanding, being very, very clear. Communication is absolutely key, and I think even more so in the last year. I think that's grown even more so because you're dealing with everyone over email or phone. You've got to get that tone of voice and the amount of information out. I've worked with clients before, and our communication hasn't been right because the expectations didn't meet, and that's a major issue when you're working with someone. You have to
learning to really find a way that you can communicate and make sure that the expectations are met in the way that you're communicating.
Exactly. And it's getting your pricing right as well. It's understanding your value to have the confidence to charge what your worth is, what you should be charging. And I think that's a massive conversation in the VA world where
definitely, yes, it's something I've come across a lot.
No one wants to have that conversation, but I think at the end of the day, it's very individual as well. I see a lot of chat on groups and social media about the VA standard should be X amount per hour. Well, if you don't feel comfortable saying that to a client, then that's not the right price for you. You need to be 100% confident of, no, this is my hourly rate, or this is what you get for me for a project. And you know in yourself that you can meet that level of service as well. I don't think one size fits all.
No.
And I think that's almost a conversation that needs to be brought out in the open more as a VA.
This is something that I have very much noticed, and it's one of the ways that I'm wanting to help VAs is to have the confidence to be charging the right amount for them and not undercharging, because I come across that quite a bit, is undercharging.
Yeah.
So
I've
you
done that before, and you end up resenting the work, and that's again
working a lot of long hours for not much money in the end of the day. Yeah. You brought up confidence earlier. So what does confidence mean to you personally?
To me, it's knowing your worth and knowing your value, to be able to put yourself out there and say, right, this is what I do, this is how much I charge for it, this is me. And I think having the confidence in choosing the right clients for yourself as well, to know
that's a big one, that one.
I'm very, very fortunate, and I've been going 6 years this year. I'm very fortunate that I now know who I need to say no to. I think you need to have that confidence in your gut feeling about someone. If you don't, you will regret it. I've done it too many times. Yeah, and I just think I can now say no to people because I do have the inkling. I know what's not going to work. But I also have some local VAs I know that would work well with those people. So it's having that confidence in yourself and being able to be happy and putting yourself out there.
That sort of answers my next question almost, but tell me about your confidence.
Well, yeah, it's taken me years to get to where I am now, and I think it's a mix of showing yourself and being honest, especially across social media, because I think the last year's shown us that that's what that's how they've seen you. They haven't seen you face to face. You haven't been able to do face-to-face meetings. I mean, Zoom meetings are great to a point, but you don't get the same body language and feeling
as
you would do. But yeah, it's taken me a long time to get to here. People assume I've tried to learn to be more honest on social media as well, because I think people don't realise the hours behind the scenes. Since I've opened this co-working space in the last month, I'm now doing 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, because it's me here. I'm responsible for it. Whereas before I'd be up at 7, doing a couple of hours before the school run. Doing the school run, getting back online, maybe taking a break, going out. I do triathlons, so I do my training, so I might go out for a run or a bike ride. So my hours were really sporadic. But then again, I might be working till 10, 11 o'clock at night, but no one sees that. No. So they almost say, oh, you've got an easy life, it's really easy. And running your own business, it's far from easy every day.
It's hours at weird times, and there's no structure until you manage to put in structure. It might not feel like structure, but it actually works. Like you said, you can go for a run or bike ride in the middle of the day, but then of course you then make up that time in the evenings or something. So it's a weird type of structure.
And I'd say it's only in the last year that I've managed to get out of that worry of what everyone else thinks. Well, that's made a massive difference to my confidence.
I was going to ask, I'm going to ask, so what blocks do you still have with your confidence, if any?
I say it's still there. I don't think worrying about what everyone else thinks goes away. It's the age-old problem, isn't it? If you get 10 compliments and 1 negative feedback, that's the one you're going to focus on. And I think it's just bringing that balance. Last year I've got a cork board, and I've put on thank you notes from clients.
Oh, fantastic.
All the positive things you see and receive. So I've put almost like a confidence mood board, for want of a phrase. And then when I do get negative, I'll not challenge it, but I'll ask more about it. Like, well, why do you feel that way? What can I improve? Like, feel free to give me feedback, but what can I do and take it better in myself?
That's quite a thing, to be able to ask for more feedback on something, because quite often you get that bit of, I don't know, feedback or comment or something, and then to actually say, well, can you actually clarify it a bit more so that I can understand it? It's quite a good tool to use, but it's a scary tool as well, because you don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get more, or is it going to make it, oh, actually that does make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's that whole, because sometimes it's a miscommunication, and then you understand, well, actually I need to work on my communication, and the same back to that person, they didn't explain themselves well, or whatever it might be. But yeah, I'd say it's only in the last year that I've then got the confidence to.
Wow, amazing. That's great. So as I'm mentioned, is I'm a confidence coach, and one thing I'm offering all my guests is to ask me anything around confidence.
Oh, that's a good one. There we can't do well. It's video, so can you do radio silence? You
can do silence. You can do silence.
Oh, let me think. I like that. So, what advice would you give to someone? So, what's your 3 big tips for someone just starting out as a VA? Of what would you suggest they work on to set them up in the right direction, to skip some of those failures? I do believe is first attempt in learning, so I don't think think you only fail when you quit and don't get up again. So what would you your 3
so the 3 sort of top tips to get you starting with your confidence when you start out as a VA? Have I understood that right?
Yes.
Okay, so one of them is something that I'm harping on a lot about, is your identity. Is know who you are and who it is you want to become. So it's not, I'm not talking about your name or your nationality or anything. I'm talking about that identity that's in you, and it changes. We're always changing that identity. We are either in one place, or we are working. You're building your own business. What type of identity do you want to step into with that business? Is it an identity of a powerful and confident person? Because I'm not going to assume that it's just a woman. There are men VAs out there. Is it the identity of being on time, or is it an identity of the values that you have? So it's really understanding who it is that you want to become, who it is you want to step into.
Yeah.
And you can look around you at all business owners. Richard Branson did not start where he is now. Alan Sugar did not start where he is now. He started here and had to step into these identities that these guys have created. So anybody. So it's know who it is you want to become as a VA or as a business owner, and just really think about that. So that's the first tip. The second tip is, and it's quite a cliche sometimes, but it's stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about them. They on their own journey. They're creating their own businesses, and you are unique to your business. So you might be an admin VA, but you're not the same admin VA as the next person.
Yeah.
Because your skills will be different. You are different as well.
Yeah.
And be you. Be who you want to be. Don't put on any airs and graces. Don't think, oh my God, I've got to be all suited and booted because that's what I have to be, when meantime you're a t-shirt and jeans type of person.
Yeah.
You can work just as well in high heels as you can in trainers.
Yeah.
Actually, I think trainers are more comfortable. So we'll scrap the high heels. Exactly. But it doesn't mean that you are not a professional.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that if you're going into somebody's office and they're corporate and you're helping out with VA, yeah, maybe not turning up in jeans and t-shirt might not be appropriate, but then be appropriate for you. Be who you are. If you've got a quirky sense of humor, allow that humor to come out. Don't suppress that humor. If you are a little bit sarcastic, allow that to come out.
Yeah.
Maybe not always on the first meeting, but be who you are.
Yeah.
So those are my sort of top 3 tips to start with.
Love it. I've thought of another one now.
Oh, share with us. Share. Okay, go for it.
Do you believe in fake it till you make it with confidence?
This is a tricky one, isn't it? Actually, I don't.
Yeah.
I do believe that you can be trying, and I do believe that you can be putting in effort. Yeah. But when you're faking it, it can be really difficult. And this is where the being honest, be who you are. You know what? I'm having a really bad day. I'm really struggling today. So, but it's okay that I'm struggling. So just be who you are. Be honest. Allow the struggles. When you fake it till you make it, you're not being honest. And then this is also where the communication can come in. Yeah. So if you're having a bad day as a VA, rather say to your client, you know what? I don't know. I'm just having a bad day. My kid was up all night. I'm on the job. I'm doing it, but I'm just going to be a little bit slower getting it done because the dog's been puking in the lounge and the kid is running naked down the road and my grandma's going loopy. Be honest. Yeah. Because your client will appreciate it. Yeah. You get the work done, but you might not have it done at 9 o'clock, but maybe you can have it done for 10 o'clock. Especially if they are flexible that way. If they need it for 9, well, then you just got to get it there for 9. But don't be all smiles when your world is falling apart. Yeah. Just do let people know. You don't have to share it on Facebook. You don't have to put it everywhere. But if you're working with clients that day, just say to them, I'm just in a rough place at the moment. I'm on it, but I'm in a rough place at the moment. So I might not be as perky as normal, but I'm okay. Yeah. And this is where, when you're faking it, you then can come off as disingenuine. Yeah, definitely. So, I've most probably a few people are going, no, you got to fake it. But no, it's confidence is about vulnerability. Yeah. And being vulnerable is a way to grow your confidence. I know, it sounds really weird.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I agree with that whole, you don't come off genuine. If you're trying to fake it, people can tell. They get that feeling from you. So,
and this is one of the reasons why I've chosen not to edit these recordings, because I want the real in it, including crazy stuff that happens in my life sometimes.
Yeah, exactly, because it's life and we're all human. I think people
exactly. So you got 2 bits of tips there.
Yeah.
I like a bit of cheek. I do.
Yeah, I'm a born negotiator, so yeah.
Oh, lovely. So what is the best advice you've ever been given in anything?
Oh, best advice I've ever been given. I think it's just to keep trying and to take risks and keep trying. I think it's very, very easy so it was like opening this place last month. Who would open and start a new business in a pandemic? why would you do that?
But especially a co-working space.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think there's too many people who want to see you fail, which is really, it's not good. So my brain is full of rainbows and unicorns. So it doesn't take on negativity very well.
Some glitter.
Yeah. All of it. It's all going on in there. So I think you need to take risks, and you need, like I said earlier, you need to fail, but you need to get up, because you don't fail until you think, no, not done. It's and nothing happens overnight either. And I think you need to remember that. You need to take that risk. You're not going to have a full diary from day one. and I deal with a lot of people coming to see me about starting up new businesses, and they're not really sure where to start. And it's from an admin point of view. They've got this amazing specialism of whatever it might be, whether it's a plumber or someone who does arts and crafts or whatever it might be, but they don't know the business side of it, and they worry within a week. They're like, well, I've set up a Facebook page and I haven't made any sales. And I'm like, no, you need to, and it's talking through. So I think, the best advice I've ever heard is just keep pushing, keep going, keep taking those risks, because there'll always be an excuse not to start. There's always, I can't afford to start. Money's such a big topic.
Definitely.
And I think we need to talk about that more, because it's almost something that we were all brought up, you didn't talk money, did you? Whereas
the nice thing is it is being spoken about more.
Exactly.
It is happening slowly, so that's great.
And I think you can start, and you can keep going, and it's not all about the money, it's about lifestyle. So
keep going, take the risks,
and learn from your mistakes. Everyone makes them.
Yeah, definitely. So what is the top tip that you can share
for being a VA?
Yeah, or for in life, or running a co-work? What is a top tip that's just come into your head that can help people?
I would say, I'm trying to think of something I've not already said as well. I think, I'm going to partly steal yours.
That's fine.
Be yourself. I think I've learned, and I've tried, that some of my failures over the last, when I first set up, I came from a very corporate background, and I am one of the least corporate people you will ever meet. I'd hold my hand up. I'm not say this, my logo is black and white. I'm not black and white. There's a lot of grey area with me. I think if something's best for your client and there's no illegal reason for not, why would you not do what's best for your client? And I think that's what makes me different. And I think if you're yourself, and you will then attract the clients that suit you best, that you will enjoy working with best, that suit your business best, that every day you're thinking, this is my job. It doesn't feel like work, because I actually really enjoy it. I like my clients. I get on with everybody. So I think, it's just be yourself. As you said, don't put on the airs and graces. Don't try and be someone you're not. Don't have a look at what Mavis over the road is doing. Don't worry about her. Just be yourself. Do it your way. Because I got a lot of advice when I first started up, and it took me a good few years to realise that wasn't good advice. But I think especially when you start up your own business, you assume, and they know what they can say about assume, everyone who's giving you advice is correct. And I think you need to find your own way, and you'll only find your own way by being yourself.
So how can people find you?
They can find me at, I'm on Instagram at Breakout Online, or Breakout Long Melford. I should get that right, shouldn't I?
Breakout that would help.
My website's breakoutonline.co.uk, and they can find me in Long Melford at my new co-working space. So my VA business is called Starfish Organisers, so that's very easy to find on.
Oh, lovely. Starfish Organisers. That sounds really great.
So thank you. But so now I'm based at my new co-working space in Long Melford. So
if anybody's in Suffolk, go and have a look at the co-working space, or in Norfolk even, because Long Melford's not too far away from Norfolk, or East Anglia, or Cambridge, or Haverhill, Cambridgeshire, go for it. Go have a look.
Definitely. So.
Well, thank you so much, Farley, for talking to us today and sharing your wisdoms, and reminding us to keep going. You need to just keep going. Take those risks. Don't let failure stop you, because as Farley has mentioned, failure is actually a way that we can learn, and reminding us that everybody fails. So thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for taking the time to watch this vodcast. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you some great tips from Farley, and to share again how wonderful the VA industry is and how they can help you as a business owner. Take care, and until next time, I will see you soon. Bye.